This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Philly Sports Guy Show. Today is Wednesday, September 28th, and there was some things happening in Philadelphia sports world yesterday, and we're going to jump right into it, starting off with the Fightins. We talking about the Fightins, but for some reason or another, they get beaten up by Little Bears. The Cubs again beat the Phillies in undramatic fashion. Actually, they wind up winning this game 2-1. The Phillies bats are silent yesterday, only got generating 5 hits, and ultimately giving up a run in the 7th inning. It was 1-1 for most of the game, and then once they got rid of the starting pitcher, who pitched really well for the Cubs, he only had 4 hit ball. Marcus Stroman, like I said, they wind up getting that run in the bottom of the 7th and wind up getting the win up against who, and again, Wheeler pitched really well yesterday. He pitched, I think it was like he gave up 5 hits, only 1 run, looked really good in 6 innings. Cannot get the win. I don't know what it is about these Cubs. Obviously, when we got to the All-Star break, they wound up sweeping us. And now, we get into Chicago and we lose. So, Philly Sports Trips is out there right now, and they've got a group of people. They just made it out there. They're going to be going to this game today. So I expect that we're going to have a different result tonight. You got Nola going on the mound. My expectation is that they are going to take care of business and actually win this game, break this snide. But even after all of that happening, the Phillies still gained ground, and they only have their magic number drops to 7 because the Milwaukee Brewers stink as well. They cannot beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals beat them 6-2. In the process, the Cardinals clinched the division, which I think was already a foregone conclusion. I mean, I didn't think that there was going to be any chance that the Brewers were going to come back from all that. But they do wind up getting lower in the magic number. So right now, the magic number sits at 7. And the Brewers have one more game with the Cardinals. And we have 2 more games with the Cubs. So hopefully we can get this number down a little bit further. Hopefully we can leave here with maybe a magic number of 5 or 4 before we go into Washington for that 4-game series. I fully expect, even though that they are on this mini slump here where we've lost 3 games in a row. First off, Nola stops that schneid tonight, and he gets the win. And then we also We are going to be within like 4 or 3 games. The magic number is going to be around 3 when we get into Washington, and we'll take care of business in Washington, finish this up, get ourselves in the playoffs, and then we'll start getting our pitching together up against Houston so that we would be able to go out and what looks like face the Cardinals. Again, who knows how the Padres do happen to have the toughest schedule, left between us, Mariners, the Brewers, and the Phillies. So I said, out of all 3 of those teams, the Padres do have the toughest schedule. It is possible that we could be facing either the Mets or the Braves because the Mets also lost yesterday to the Marlins and Atlanta won. So now we have a tie atop the NL East. So who knows what's going to happen up there? The Mets, who've had this division lead all year long, now are in a current tie with the Braves. And, who knows? Who knows? The Mets could be playing for the wild, in the wild card. Because as of right this second, the Braves are playing really good ball. Yeah, well, I mean, we split with them. So, and then I think right now they're going up against Washington, and Washington's very simple to beat. Obviously, let's not give them too much credit there. I mean, the Braves right now are a -210 against the Nationals tonight. So I don't even know that the Nationals are even showing up. They're already on the golf course as far as I'm concerned. And I fully expect that after the Braves sweep them, the Mets better hold serve. They're going to have to come up and give a little bit better outing against the Marlins. And who do they go up against tonight? Is the Marlins nobody special? You guys got a good ERA. He's got a 3.57 ERA, and they're using Walker tonight. So, but it's only a 2-game series. So it's Jesus Luzardo. You never know. You never know. The Mets on a little bit of a downside right now. May be possible that the Braves wind up taking this division. It's going to be a very interesting thing moving forward here to see what happens. But ultimately, I ain't worried about either one of those teams. Got to worry about ourselves. We got to win some games. We have to beat the Cubs here. The Cubs are not very good, not a very good team right now. They took the game yesterday. We go up against, another pretty good pitcher. Obviously, this guy has not had a lot of games, but he must have been called up from the minors. Hayden Wesniewski, who is got a 2-1 record, a 2.46 ERA with 24 strikeouts in 22 innings. So the kid has been pitching pretty good. He's going up against Aaron Nola, who has got a 3.28 ERA, 218 strikeouts, and 192 innings. So we're going to see. Obviously, and Nola's got a 10-12 record, which really is not indicative. Obviously, they do not like to hit the ball when Nola is on the mound, but maybe they can get to this kid early and maybe battle him a little bit. We need to get this done because right now we are on a 5-game losing streak on the road. Got to be able to break that snide before we go on into the playoffs because obviously, if we are going to be the third wild card, we're going to have to go and do all those games in the playoffs, for the wild card series on the road. So time to start breaking that now and start turning that trend around and start hitting the ball and doing what we need to do. I saw something this week that said that the over under on the Phillies winning 5.5 games on this last 10-game road stand was like a -120. I don't know if that number has changed a little bit since they lost yesterday, but they got it. They have to at least win. You have to go 500 on this road trip at the very, very, very least, and they should try to win at least 6. So, like I said, usually when you have problems with your baseball team, the Nationals are what cures those ails. So the Nationals typically are. Like I said, they're already on the golf course. They're worried about next year. They may have called whoever up. They are like a double A team. They ain't even triple A. So it may be one of those situations where we just got to get to them. Once we get to them, we'll be able to secure our spot. And like I said, the Brewers are not doing very well at all. They have lost a few games. I want to say in their last 10, they may have only won like 4. I'm going to go check that right now, just to kind of see. Here we go. And the Brewers they're 500 in their last 10, and they've lost 2 in a row. So they are having similar struggles to the Phillies. Limping into the playoffs is not the way to get in, but ultimately you still have to be able to, you got to get in there, and then we can start to figure it out. I expect that we will wind up playing the Cardinals. I'm going to go and tell you exactly where everybody sits right now at this moment in the wild card standing. We are still we're 2.5 games back from the Padres. Like I said, the Padres have a tough go of it here in their last games. Obviously, they have 2 more against the Dodgers, 3 against the White Sox, and 3 against the Giants. So that, like I said, there could be a change there, but the Phillies being 2.5 games back on them to get that number 2 wild card spot means that the Mets or the Braves is going to wind up facing them, and we're going to wind up going up against the Cardinals, because there's just no way that the Cardinals are going to be able to catch the Braves or the Mets and get that number 2 spot, unless really big collapse by both teams. And that, in fact, it's impossible because the Mets and the Braves play each other. So we're going to wind up seeing what happens in that regards. Again, I don't really care about those teams, care about the Phillies. The hunt for Red October is still going on, and right now the magic number is at 7. So let's take care of our own business, and we will be able to move forward with that. That being said, I'm going to take a break a little early today because I have some Eagles news, and the Flyers happened to play a little bit of a scrimmage yesterday against the Buffalo Sabres. We'll talk about both of those things right after these commercial messages. We'll be right back right after this.
Welcome to the Everyday GSD Podcast. Today's special guest. Welcome to the Military Podcast. A true
It's the man of the job, it's the man of anything. Success is based on participation. So I participate daily.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, it's Cold War era.
Anybody wants to hear anything I have to say, but you and I have a lot of great conversations.
Everyday GSD is more than just a podcast. It's a movement. It's a way of life. The show's guests come from all walks of life and all have the same everyday, get shit done mentality in common. Many are former military special operators who are now everyday GSDing in their civilian life. Others are civilians who get shit done on a daily basis. Veteran, prior military, the goal is to motivate and inspire through like-minded guests sharing epic life stories. Ultimately, what we want the audience to realize is every day is an opportunity to get up and get shit done. My name is Darren Bebo, and I everyday GSD.
This is Jonica, and I everyday GSD.
My name is Mike Rebell, and I everyday GSD.
This is Jeffrey Barnett, and I everyday GSD.
This is Wojo, and I everyday GSD.
This is Jake, and I everyday GSD.
My name is Hannah Gaber, and I everyday GSD.
This is Rachel, and I everyday GSD.
My name's Keith Dixon, and I everyday GSD.
My name's Kyle McCord, and I everyday GSD.
I mean, you can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready. I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, you guys any...
And we are back. Real quick, before we move on with the other Philly stuff, I'm live on TikTok now as well. And one of the guys that we're sitting there talking about, Judge, and how he is stuck 60 and has been stuck there for about 5 days on 60. I know that the pitchers have been pitching around him now that he wants to let up that 61st home run. He's having such a great year. And I know that he's going through this slump of sorts where he's hitting the ball pretty well. He's just not hitting those home runs. And somebody said that how much would I want to catch that home run ball, the number 61, which I think he's going to hit tonight. I think it's finally going to break this snide. You're going to have a pitcher who's finally going to compete and, give him the opportunity to hit it, and he's going to hit it out there. And they're saying that ball is going to be worth $2 million. I tell you, I ain't spending $2 million for that ball. But if that guy can get $2 million for that baseball, then I know that the world is going to hell in a handbasket because that baseball ain't worth that much money. And plus, I'm a big fan of having history go to where it's supposed to be. That ball would belong in the Hall of Fame. And if the Hall of Fame wants to spend $2 million for that baseball, then good for them. I don't think that they're going to. And like I says, if I was Aaron Judge, I'd probably do something. If whoever caught that ball and I'd make something happen, maybe go out and have a few beers with this guy, give him a signed jersey, signed bat, some more baseballs, all that stuff, give him some things of a lot of worth. But ultimately, I would give it back to them. I'm not a big firm believer of, I want that ball because I'm going to be the guy who hoards it. Not the way I would want to do things. But I don't get to make those decisions because I ain't going to be in the outfield at all trying to catch that ball. And if Zach Campbell gets it, which I doubt that he will, he's not going to get it. I know that the Philly captain will wind up having a hissy fit if Zach Campbell winds up catching that ball. But let's go back to more important things like Philadelphia sports. Hey, real quick, right before I do that, I just want to let everybody know if you are going out to Arizona, and it doesn't matter whether you're going with Philly sports trips, the Green Legion, you're going out there with the fans of Philly. All of those are great companies. You're an Eagles fan. You want to go out to Arizona, get yourself out there. Or if you already live in Arizona and you want to go, we are having the first ever Arizona PSG Mini Golf Open. And it's going to be benefiting the Eagles Autism Foundation. We are going to be having mini golf. We're going to be playing mini golf. And it's happening on 92nd and Shea Boulevard. We're going to have Hollis Thomas there. We're going to have Instagram model and Eagles super fan Simi Draper there. It's going to be a lot of fun. The cost is only $40. And like I said, it benefits the Eagles Autism Foundation. And if you are over 21, you get a free drink in that mix. So it's going to be exciting. I'm all excited for this, and we're going to have a blast. Starts at 2:00 on Friday, October 7th. So please come on out and support the Eagles Autism Foundation by putting around. And one person of that group is going to win an autographed football from Jason Kelsey. Everybody's going to have the opportunity to win it. So let's come on out and support that cause. It's such a great cause, and they do a lot of good, not just in Philadelphia, but around the country and the world for autism awareness. Going back to talking about the Eagles, since we happen to have the Eagles up, I got my email from the NFL. And what does the NFL say? Obviously, it's like, what am I getting emails from the NFL from? And obviously, it is talking about the NFL Players of the Week. And for the third week in a row, an Eagle has made the Player of the Week. Week 1 was Zach McPherson. He made the Special Teams Player of the Week. Week 2 was Big Play Slay, who winds up taking it for the Defensive Player of the Week. And in Week 3, we have our own BG, number 55, Brandon Graham. He also gets Defensive Player of the Week. Did a great job this week. Got 2.5 sacks, one of them being a strip sack. It's been a long time since I've seen BG's name as Player of the Week. Last time I would have called him the Player of the Week, I would have called him that Defensive Player of the Week for the strip sack in the Super Bowl. But he had 2.5 sacks. Great day. He was taking care of business over in Washington. 2.5 of those 9 sacks. Of the 9 sacks that we got up against Carson Wentz. And I watched a little bit more of that game. I was going through it real quick, just watching play after play after play after play. And, Carson Wentz didn't have a bad game. He wasn't crazy holding on to the ball. He had I was doing the counts and watching the seconds. He had only 3.5 seconds to throw the football. And some quarterbacks need that full 4 seconds. Other quarterbacks can get it off in 2.5 seconds. That's what was going on with Detroit in week 1. When you watch that game in Detroit, you get to see Goff getting rid of the ball in about 2 to 2.5 seconds. And when he did have the ball for long periods of time, that was because he had the line in coverage to try to block off the center of the field. That was Gannon making those calls. Gannon has, retracted from that now. Obviously, in Minnesota, Cousins was, again, only getting about 3.5 seconds. Now, I know when Carson Wentz was here, we were always busting his balls about holding on to that ball too long, and he would get 5-6 seconds, and then ultimately it would be a sack. Here, he did not have that time. He just did not have that opportunity, and he had to get rid of the ball. In most cases, he was getting rid of the ball in 4 to 4.5 seconds. And when we were getting our sacks, we were getting there before 4 seconds. So it wasn't that Carson Wentz was doing the things of old. It was that this defense was taking care of business and just beating up that offensive line. That being said, as we welcome back Doug Peterson this weekend in what looks to be a very soggy game, that we are going to have a tropical storm in the house when we are playing this game. So it could look a little bit like that game between the 49ers and the Bears if they don't have the drainage plugged up right. Like I said, they put that field on and it became a fishbowl. Well, there could be a very similar situation as the Eagles are going to be going up against Jacksonville in the middle of a tropical storm, or if it's still a hurricane, I'm sure they will not play that game. They'll have to postpone it till later. Maybe even do it at 6:00 on a Monday because you just cannot play in hurricane storms. I know that that the Bears and the 49ers did play, and it was raining like somebody turned the faucet on. But Hurricane's a little different. You're going to need to make sure that everybody's protected. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's still a Category 1 that they postpone the game. But I think this is going to be coming through landfall. It's going to probably diminish some, but they are still threatening that this is going to be a tropical storm in Philadelphia for Sunday. So Jacksonville is bringing that weather from Florida all the way up to Philly, and we're going to see how that goes. And to be honest, I feel that that's only going to help Philadelphia a little bit better because when it's soggy and rainy out there, nobody really wants to play in it. So the home team is going to have the advantage, and I fully expect that that's going to be the case in this regard. But anyways, congratulations to Brandon Graham as he gets, again, puts the Eagles on the player of the week. Just to give you guys an idea, the offensive player of the week was Cordarrelle Patterson from Atlanta. And then the special team was the punter from Green Bay, Pat O'Donnell, who had a great day keeping Tampa Bay back on their, giving them a long field to take on. The last team to talk about a little bit, the Flyers played last night up in Buffalo. To under 10,000 people. I was surprised that 10,000 people made it to Buffalo. They had nothing else to do on a Tuesday night, so they went out to go watch some hockey, and their Sabres got to win. How about that? These games don't matter very much, but obviously I wanted to talk about it a little bit. They had the Flyers goalie was Grosnick, and he had 12 saves on the game. I got to imagine that they probably had two goalies play. Yeah, Arison played, I guess, in the third period, and he wound up getting 7 saves. Grosnick wound up giving up 2 goals. 12 saves on 14 shots. Travis Konechny got the goal for the Flyers and then took a cheap shot. He wound up leaving in the first period. I'll be honest, I didn't pay any more attention because I was doing Quizzo at my favorite location, Dolan's Bar. So I didn't really get a chance to watch the game as we were watching the Phillies. However, I know that he did not come back in the first, and I would have been surprised if he came back at all in that game because he did take a real bad cheap shot and wind up leaving the ice after that goal, which really was kind of frustrating because this is preseason, dude. Why you gotta throw cheap shots around because you let up a goal? Do you need to make the team that bad that you're so angry that you got to cheap somebody up? I'm surprised. What bothered me about that whole thing is that I didn't hear about the other players coming around correct to Konechny's aid. And that's the other thing. That guy should have been, getting smashed against the boards every time he was anywhere near them. And he should have been getting tangled up with people after every whistle he was on the ice for. So that the fact that did not happen a little bit upsets me, but that's going to be all right. When the regular season comes, we'll get back our revenge on that. And like I said, I know that the Flyers are a tough sell right now. Not everybody's real excited to, see them, but they are still a Philadelphia team. And as long as they are in Philadelphia, I'm going to go ahead and support them. And you may have seen yesterday on a couple of my videos, I was at the Sixers practice facility. I was shooting the ball around, trying to do some things. You know what I learned yesterday? I learned that I am not a basketball player. That's what I learned. Anybody who knows me on TikTok knows some of my buddies from Philly Sports TikTok. King Kyle was there, and we did a little one-on-one. Now, I will tell you that King Kyle, great guy, he's got an inch or two on me, and he's also got 18 years my junior. However, I should not have been shut out. I had plenty of opportunities to make the ball. I could not make a shot to save my life. He winds up shutting me 5-0, and thank God for that, because if it took any longer to play that game, I'd have been so gassed it wouldn't have been able to have been fun. But ultimately, I am not a basketball player. I am a guy who could cheer on other basketball players to play this game, and I learned that again yesterday at the practice facility, which was a lot of fun. I want to thank Life Brands for inviting me out there. They don't let many people into that facility, and you're going to see a lot of content in the next few days about that. Today, I get to go out to the Stroud Center. The Stroud Center was the group that had the charity cook-off where I was playing a celebrity chef, and I get to go out there and check out their facility with a number of the chefs that were out there that were part of the charity event. So I look forward to having that. And then tomorrow I get to scrimmage and practice and stretch with the Philadelphia Union. So this is going to be a crazy fun week. Painted up in all these colors as the Union are getting ready for the playoffs. I got to make sure to put in my 2 cents in there and get everybody working and making sure everybody is on the right page. So as we move forward here and get that all started up, I want to see them get that supporter shield and then also take that all the way to the MLS Cup. And with any luck, the MLS Cup will be here. But if it's not, either way, you're going to see me at that game. I'm going to make sure to be able to be there for the Union, because the MLS Cup would happen on that Saturday or Sunday that the Eagles play on Thursday night in Houston. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be very exciting today. Like I said, the fun and exciting time. We've got Red October. We got the Flyers starting up. The Sixers are just starting practice now and getting themselves together. And then of course our Eagles are 3-0, baby. There's nothing better than that sound. So, and then we get to welcome back our coach who took us to a Super Bowl, the guy who's got a statue out in front of the link, Doug Peterson. I say we give him a nice round of applause and then boo the hell out of him after that. That's what I say. But you guys do what you want. You guys can boo if you'd like. You guys can cheer if you'd like. I said he never did anything wrong here. I'm all excited to have him come back, and he could be the best recipient of the L for our 4th W. So hopefully I won't look like a drowned rat, but we will see, because I'm going to still be there and I'm still going to be supporting. I'm going to be wearing my shoulder pads. If they're playing in the rain, so am I. That's what the Philly sports guy does. He's there all the time, and we're going to make sure that happens. Everybody, thank you very much. I know I went a little over my half-hour time today, but that don't matter. Like I said, anything to do with hang out with you guys. I love enjoying spending this time and talking Philadelphia sports with everybody. So everybody, have a great day. Tomorrow, like I said, from 8 to 10, I will be doing the Mac and Jack show as we talk about everything in Philadelphia sports and Yankees. I'm sure we're going to be talking a lot of Yankee stuff because they clinched the division, and we get to talk about some football, like a little bit of the Giants, a little bit of the Jets, and a little bit of everything else that's going on. So tune in tomorrow for the Mac and Jack show as I help. And we'll see you, tomorrow. Everybody, have a great week, and I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.